Hello and welcome to today's edition as our editor speaks with Mr. Ajay Bakaya, Managing Director of Sarovar Hotels and Resorts, India's largest mid-scale hotel chain with 80 hotels across 50 destinations. Mr. Bakaya has been the Executive Director of Sarovar Hotels for over 27 years. He oversees operations and is involved in Sarovar's new development in India as well as abroad. His 35 years of international hotel experience includes assignments in countries like Australia, France, the United Kingdom, and Africa. Here's to hearing from Mr. Bakaya himself.
Well, I really appreciate you joining us, Mr. Bakaya, the time you've taken out for us. And I would begin by asking the first question, and that is, how do you see, or what do you see is the greatest challenge which confronts the hospitality industry in the light of the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic is
the single largest challenge that we will be faced with as an industry post lifting of lockdown is trauma and loss of human talent. End of the day, much as we'd like to take care of the community around us, the society around us, and the world at large, as individuals running organizations, we are going to be restricted in what we can do by simple and plain profit and loss terms. Lower business volumes means a certain loss of jobs is inevitable. If we play our cards right, we'll probably live with bigger teams and deeper salary cuts than with lesser jobs. But whatever we do, there would be some loss of jobs. I mean, it's a no-brainer. With some hotels not having business for 3 months, 6 months, some perhaps even for a year in special locations, which are highly seasonal, you will have to let some people go. This will lead to social imbalance, it will lead to economic difficulties, it will lead to mental health issues, it will lead to physical health issues. So I think that's the biggest thing that we'll have to grapple with as an industry and as a country, other than looking after our business and bringing in some business. To me, it's the single largest point that we need to spend sleepless nights over.
Mr. Bakaya, is how can the hotels reinvent themselves in this age of social distancing when point-to-point contact is completely almost forbidden? And the corollary to this question is, you take away the dining, which is a major part of the hotels. How can they then cater? Or how can the hotels cater to the clients? What are the innovative ways they can?
How do we reinvent ourselves as hotels in an era of increased social distancing? The social distancing is necessary. Will dining go away? Absolutely not. However, numbers are going to be restricted. We are going to be working with lesser capacity. People are going to be that much more hesitant to step out of their homes into restaurants. If we do it right and if we communicate right, then we should communicate that our hotels are the oasis of safety, hygiene, reassurance, comfort. People coming in are going to go back healthy. But dining will take a hit. Banqueting will take a larger hit. And a whole lot of hotels in India that get a large chunk of the revenue from banqueting business will see significant drops in business, particularly the wedding heavy destinations. Now, the one answer that all of us are working towards very strongly is deliveries within a 5-kilometer radius. We deliver to the neighborhood, we re-engineer our menus to cater to local tastes, we compete with the local standalone restaurants, and we deliver phenomenal food and at great service levels. That's the answer. Some of us may well be looking at converting our banquet halls into office spaces if there is a demand for that. So that's a level of reinventing, but at the end of the day we have built hotels. To a certain extent we'll be limited with what we can do. Perhaps if you've got very large kitchens and multiple restaurants, one may even look at converting part of.
When business is on your mind, you are on our mind. Sarovar Hotels and Resorts.
Now, my third question, Mr. Bakaya, is what sort of confidence boosting measures would you like the government to take to bail out the hotel industry, which is really in a very bad shape now? Can you elaborate a bit on this?
Well, we are not a wealthy country. There's only so much you can ask from the government. There's only so much you can expect for the government to do for you. We have, both as FHRAI and as Hotel Association of India, pitched very, very, very strongly for loan waivers. At the moment, we have a deferral for 2 quarters, which gives you some relief in terms of cash flows, but doesn't take away the issue of how are you going to pay your interest with the hotels not producing any revenues. That's an issue. It's still up for discussion. It's still up for further changes, both at the level of the government, the central government, and the finance minister, and at the level of the Supreme Court, where somebody has challenged that if you're providing loan deferrals, why are you asking me to pay interest during that period? But that's one major thing from the central government. And I wouldn't ask for much more. My biggest expectation is if I get a loan waiver for 1 whole year or 4 quarters, which means if I have a 10-year loan, my loan becomes an 11-year loan. But for that 1 year, for 4 quarters, I'm paying neither principal nor interest. And that's our biggest ask as an industry. At the level of the states, the major demand is that electricity be charged on actual consumption and usage and not on minimum contracted demand. Our next demand is that property taxes not be charged for a 3 to 4 month period where the property is remaining shut. And similar thing for licenses which operate on an annual basis, that we get a 3 month or a 6 month no pay window. Beyond that, despite all of that, we would need to really step up our act and do things which take us forward and not rely on the government to give you more.
Now, my fourth and final question to you, Mr. Bakaya, is in the finance minister's recently announced rupees 20 crore package to the MSMEs has completely excluded the hospitality industry. How do you react to this? Do you think this is a problem of perception?
I disagree that the finance minister's MSME package has done nothing for hotels. The MSME package that the finance minister has announced covers all industries, including the hospitality industry and hotels. The 20 lakh crore package, on the other hand, is a bit of a misnomer. The actual concessions in that 20 lakh crore package are perhaps 1 lakh crore as per financial experts. And they have completely and totally ignored the hotel industry, an industry that provides 8 to 10% direct employment and a 10% contribution to the nation's GDP. At the same time, they have pretty much ignored all other sectors. So there has been no sectoral relief that's been announced other than for agriculture and farm labor and the farm sector, and other than for MSMEs, which covers hotels. We are hopeful that in a short while more, we will hear more on sectoral reforms or sectoral benefits that will help us move ahead smoother, easier, and faster. Thank you.